Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen, Red Sonja. Oh yes, that movie that's long been languishing on a shelf somewhere. The first reviews are in. Do you think it's good or do you think it's bad? Shall we take a look? It's about what you'd expect. I think. They're about what you'd expect. Not necessarily horrendous, but it's about what you'd expect. So hit subscribe if you're new here, turn the bell notifications on. Let's take a look. Oh dear. At least she's in the bikini, right? At least she's in the bikini. So the embargo for Millennium Media's Red Sonja reboot has lifted. And it's mostly-ish positive. There are some negative ones, but it's mostly-ish positive. And I say like it's about what you'd expect because I think people have kind of cottoned on to the fact that it is... I mean, it's Red Sonja. She's in a chainmail bikini, for God's sake. Like, it's not supposed to be taken super seriously. So, yeah. There's a few reviews, obviously, that's been out now. There's no score on Rotten Tomatoes. But most of them are positive. So, yeah. Let's have a look, right? So Hollywood Reporter, they really did not like this at all. Really, at all. I mean, UPI, whatever that is, valiantly portrays literary heroine. Joe Blow. Low budget kills this terrible adaptation. They hated it. I for film, whoever that is. Legendary sword and sorcery heroine must survive the gladiatorial arena as she searches for her people. I mean, that's not even letting us know kind of what it is. Matilda Lutz, committed performance, leads MJ Bassett's decent Red Sonja reboot. Matilda Lutz acquits herself well enough, but the film, like its villain, is all over the place. Comic fans might like it. Kind of the point, though. So anyway, let's get into some of this, shall we? So again, a Hollywood Reporter. Liked it, disliked it. Kind of all over the place, really. So anyway, as it says here, new cinematic adventure fantasy revolving around Red Sonja doesn't have much to live up to, considering the 85 version with Bridget Nielsen and Arnie isn't exactly beloved, even among genre fans. Which makes it all the more disappointing that MJ Bassett's version turns out to be so lackluster, especially considering that its star, Matilda Lutz, proved so impressive in Revenge. I did a review of that. I actually interviewed Matilda Lutz back in the day. So hampered by the sort of low-budget production values that make it seem more suited for cable television, Red Sonja is receiving a one-night theatrical release before being made available on VOD. So, yeah, nah. Bottom line, plenty of sword and sorcery, but little of interest, is what they said. To answer the obvious question first, yes, Lutz's Red Sonja does wear the chainmail bikini, whilst fighting, gladiator style. Which, let's face it, doesn't offer a lot of bodily protection, but in a nicely feminist twist, she's self-conscious about it, and she ditches it as soon as she can, even if her subsequent outfits are scarcely more concealing, so that's good. That's the whole point, right? You want it to be sexy, right? That's the whole point of this. So as is to be expected in stories of this sort, Sonja is forced to fight for her captor's amusement, but when she refuses to engage with a fellow prisoner Petra, her moral stance doesn't end well. Later, she's made to fight a giant-horned Cyclops, whom Dragon summons with what looks like a flashlight. And manages to turn the tables by convincing the fearsome creature of who his real enemies are. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just crazy. So they didn't like it, obviously. They didn't like it at all. So we'll just scroll through some of this. Joe Blow, for instance. Let's have a look and see what Joe Blow said. Oh, they really... Yeah, they didn't like it either. Terrible adaptation. I mean, that's pretty bad, isn't it? Just straight away, terrible adaptation. Plot. Captured, chained, forced to fight for survival. Red Sonja must battle her way through the blood-soaked pits of a tyrant's empire and rally an army. Cool. Whatever. So it serves as an origin story. Sure, fine. Barely 100 minutes. Red Sonja is not a great movie. There are moments in the film where I thought it was turning a corner and maybe better than I initially thought. Those moments were fleeting from the beginning. Red Sonja lacks the cinematic quality that elevates many fantasy films from looking like they're shot on soundstage or sets. And I will agree, like, when I looked at the trailer, I was like, what have they done with the, like, there's no colour grading. What have they done? It's really weird. It was really weird, like, lack of colour grading. Very, very odd. Very, very odd. Let's have a look at this one, because this one is somewhat positive, actually. It's decent, right? It's a decent B-movie vibe. Last time big screen attempt on a Red Sonja film resulted in a flimsy, poorly acted sword and sorcery film. That was 40 years ago. The leggy Nielsen sure looked the part, but her stilted acting and flatline delivery were among the downfalls. Recently watched the 85 movie. It looked just as bad as when they first saw it. So this apparently deserves a better screen treatment. Well, Red Sonja, sorry, deserves a better screen treatment, only to suffer from decades-long development hell. I don't understand why this is so hard to develop, to be honest. What is wrong with people? It's really not that difficult. I don't think so, anyway. So, whatever. Story doesn't delve deep into her origin, as Bassett prefers a more forward momentum structure to pace her movie, with occasional flashbacks taking place to reveal her past when Sonja was just a 9-year-old child. Right from the beginning, we learn that the Hyrcanian people who live in a peaceful village end up in a massacre and their home is destroyed. So, the action itself's fairly bloody, competently staged, even though they can't help but notice most of the scenes are short-lived, which obviously has to do with the budget constraint. So, not super negative. This one is just like some random blogger. Don't know what some randos have been given access to this. It's really odd. So what year is it? You'd be forgiven for wondering, considering nostalgia-tinged reboots and sequels like The Naked Gun and Freaky Friday in theatres. Now comes another throwback, the fantasy film Red Sonja, a mix of 82's Conan the Barbarian meets Gladiator and unsatisfying overall. So they didn't like it. So, yeah. There feels like one too many traumatic flashbacks in place of stakes, clarity and humour. Not everything needs humour, but okay. Where Sonja trades verbal jabs with the flirty and swaggering Osin, the untouched. Untouched by another's blade, hint at the chemistry or camp that could have been. Other characters that could be impressive foils, such as Dragon's right hand, Anicia, come across as one note at best. Not too... I mean, it's very... They're like, disaster. Why did you give it 2 stars then? That's not a complete disaster, is it? So, I mean, it's kind of... Yeah. It's kind... I mean, it is... They're more positive than... They're more positive than super negative. I mean, when that trailer came out, it got, like, destroyed. I think for a movie like... I mean, this movie's not going to be good. It's a shame. It's a shame. It had good pieces. It had good pieces to the puzzle. But yeah, it's not going to be good. And the thing is, the fact that they just sent this direct to... Well, I say direct to streaming. It's almost direct to streaming, isn't it? They're giving it like one night in theatres. But it's just... It's dead. Like, it's just bad. So they should have just released it ages ago. The fact that it languished on a shelf just added to the mythos behind it and sort of built up anticipation. So there you go. Whatever. Those are the reviews, basically. It's not good. I will try and watch this and bring you my review. But there you go. Bye-bye now.